And so the nights passed. In solitude and starlight, Lady Isolde traced her maps, each constellation becoming a friend, a companion, a keeper of ancient secrets. And now, my dear listener, I invite you, right now, to set everything else aside, to simply allow this moment to be for you, and only for you. Wherever you are, lying down in bed or resting in a favorite chair, let your body soften. Notice the way the air feels on your skin, perhaps a coolness or a quiet warmth. Take a slow, steady breath in, and gently let it go. Another breath in, slowly filling your lungs, and then sigh it out. Imagine, with each exhale, your muscles grow a little heavier. Your shoulders drift downward, your hands soften, your eyelids weigh just a touch more. Allow yourself to picture a gentle medieval night where the stars above shimmer in silence. A hush falls over the land, and the only sounds are the sigh of wind in the grass, the faint crackle of a hearth within stone walls, and the quiet lull of crickets beyond. You are safe here. You are welcome here. This is your story time, your chance to drift peacefully into a dreamlike world. When you are ready, I will begin the tale. Our story today begins with a lady of the night sky, a noblewoman whose heart listened not to courtly whispers, but to the soft, eternal music of the stars. Her name was Lady Isolde. The year was long ago, an age of castles rising from hilltops, of banners drifting lazily in the wind, and of scholars whispering about the movements of the heavens. Lady Isolde was unlike the others at court. While many spoke of feasts or hunts or the glimmer of jewels, her eyes always sought the heavens above. On her writing desk lay a great vellum chart, the surface smoothed from careful preparation, its edges kissed by candlelight. Upon it, she drew star by star, constellation by constellation, a map of the sky as it unfolded across the velvet night. The ink she used was a deep midnight blue, mixed with crushed lapis and soot, a pigment that caught the light in curious ways. And when she set her quill to the parchment, it seemed the heavens themselves leaned closer to guide her hand. Outside her window, the air was cool. A breeze tugged at the banners of the keep, rustling them like whispered lullabies. Far in the courtyard, a lone torch flickered, its flame bowing and swaying, as if nodding in agreement with the rhythm of the stars. And so, night after night, Isolde traced her maps. Each constellation became a story to her, not only a pattern of light, but a friend, a companion, a keeper of ancient secrets. I invite you now to picture this scene as though you are standing just behind Lady Isolde. You see her chamber lit by only a few candles, their flames steady, golden, quiet. You notice how the vellum gleams softly under her careful touch. You hear the faint scratch of the quill, a sound like the whisper of a moth's wings. Outside, the world is hushed. A nightingale sings somewhere in the orchard, its notes rising, pausing, falling. The castle walls breathe silence. And above it all, the stars wait, ancient, infinite, guiding traveler and dreamer alike. Can you feel how calm it is? Can you sense the slow rhythm of this place? Every detail invites you deeper. Every sound eases you further, until your body is so heavy, so relaxed, and your mind, like the sky itself, opens wide. Lady Isolde's fascination with the stars began when she was very young. Her nursemaids often told her tales of the heavens, how each constellation was a creature, a hero, or a warning from the ancients. The great hunter, who strode across the winter skies, the swan, wings stretched wide in summer's warmth, the maiden, whose crown of stars appeared at the turning of spring. But unlike the children, who forgot such tales by morning, Isolde carried them in her heart. She looked for them each night from her narrow window, pressing her cheek to the cold stone ledge, whispering the names as though they were beloved friends. As she grew older, her curiosity deepened. She began to copy fragments from wandering monks' manuscripts, astrological charts, mystical diagrams, tiny dots and lines that suggested a great cosmic order. And when she was given her own chamber in the Eastern Tower, she began the great work of her life, her star map. Let us pause here together and allow you to imagine the way her world must have felt. Picture a medieval chamber, stone walls, cool and strong, tapestries, swaying faintly in the night air. The smell of beeswax candles melted slowly over the hours. Picture the table where she worked, the quill, the inkpot, the parchment spread wide. Above her, the window opens to the velvet dark, and thousands upon thousands of stars twinkle silently like sparks from a divine fire. As you imagine this, you might feel your own breathing soften, as though you, too, are beneath those very stars, quiet, safe, timeless. One evening, as Isolde traced the constellation of the crown, her maidservant knocked gently at the door. "My lady," she whispered, "there is a traveler at the gate, seeking shelter." Isolde laid down her quill and stretched her fingers, stiff from long hours of drawing. "Let them in," she murmured softly, her voice like the hush of pages turning. The traveler was a wandering astrologer, a man with weary boots and eyes that mirrored the night sky. He carried with him a satchel of scrolls, weathered and cracked, their ink faded from the road. By the hearth, with bread and wine between them, he told Isolde tales of the constellations he had seen far from her northern land. The scorpion, glowing fiercely in the desert's heat, the archer, rising proudly above distant seas. Isolde listened as though the stars themselves were speaking, and when he unrolled one of his worn charts, their two maps seemed to breathe together, hers, freshly inked, his, browned with time. Each dot of starlight meeting its twin across centuries. As you listen to this, you might notice a gentle drowsiness within you now. Like Lady Isolde leaning closer to her map, your mind leans gently toward sleep. The fire crackles, the night air cools, the stars shimmer just beyond reach. You might allow yourself to drift a little here, half in the story, half in a dream. Every word is soft, every sentence is slow, and you need do nothing at all but listen and rest. Before he left at dawn, the astrologer placed a small gift upon Isolde's table. It was a compass, delicate bronze, its needle trembling as though eager to point the way. "This," he said, "is not only for roads upon the earth. It reminds us that the heavens, too, are a guide. Follow them, and they will never lead you astray." Isolde pressed the compass to her palm. It was cool, steady, and felt as though it carried a fragment of starlight within its tiny frame. And so, when he departed through the castle gate, she returned to her chamber with new purpose. Her map was no longer only for herself. It was for travelers, for sailors, for dreamers yet to come. It was a gift she hoped might someday guide others, just as the stars had guided her. As you picture her, candlelight flickering on her calm face, you might imagine that she is drawing for you as well. Each dot of ink upon her vellum becomes a star in your own night sky. Each curve of line she traces becomes a path leading you toward rest, toward peace, toward deep, untroubled sleep. And now, as her quill whispers against parchment, you might hear, within yourself, the hush of your own breathing, gentle, steady, easy. Let yourself follow the map she draws. Let it carry you, like a ship on calm waters, further into the dream.